Hello YouTube, Captain Mac here, and what you are looking at right now is the international timetable for Trans World Airlines in June of 1947. And you may be wondering yourself, what on earth are we looking at this thing for? Well, I've decided to do another series. I'm going to continue the life of the virtual airline pilot and some of the other tutorials and stuff I've been doing, but I've got the Constellation add-on from Just Flight. Pretty cool little aircraft. I really like it. One of the things I really like about it is that it's very old school. It's VOR to VOR navigation using the radios. There is no GPS or anything like that. Just a neat old aircraft to fly. And it turns out that they flew pretty much around the world. Now, the way they did it was they flew eastbound starting in Chicago and worked their way all the way out to Bombay, India. And if you look over here on the westbound chart, you see they went from India all the way back. And I've gone ahead and I've created a route that goes all the way out to India using their schedule here, and then from India continued all the way on around the world, just to make it a what do you call it? My brain doesn't want to function today, just to make it a circumnavigation of the globe. So rather than going out and coming back, we're going to continue all the way around the world from India. These videos, other than this one will probably be the longest one just because I'm introducing the series to you, but these are going to be very short videos. We're going to hop on and take a real quick look at the flight plan, literally like 30 seconds to a minute of me just showing you the flight plan, telling you where we're starting, where we're ending. And then from there we'll hop into an aircraft that's already running and holding short of the runway. We're not going to do full startup procedures and all of that. That's something that I've been doing with my Life of a Virtual Airline Pilot series, and I will continue to do there. But that's not the plan here. The plan is for these to be short videos, show you the route, hop in an aircraft that's ready to go, take off. I'll cut the video, probably give you a minute of cruise time just to show you the aircraft at cruise altitude, show you where we're at and where we're going, and then final approach and landing, and maybe or maybe not the taxi in. So the videos are going to be really short, like I said, except for this one with the introduction. Now, that being said, if you're interested in learning the startup procedure for the Lockheed Constellation, please let me know down in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to put together a tutorial on that, because it's a pretty neat little startup procedure. Pretty simple once you get it down, but definitely takes a few minutes to start all 4 engines. So that being said, let's go ahead and hop on over and I will show you our flight plan for today's flight. Okay, let's just take a real quick look at our flight plan for the day. We're going to be flying from Chicago O'Hare, KORD, to Washington Dulles, which is KIAD, and this is our basic route. Don't worry about, there's a whole lot of information on here. We're only worried about a few things. We're worried about what our waypoints are going to be. Because we have to fly VOR to VOR, we need to know what those waypoints are. GIJ, which is Gipper Niles, that's a VOR, and the frequencies for them. 115.40 is the frequency here. Toledo VOR is 112.50. DJB or Dryer VOR is 113.60, and so on. And what we do is we tune in those VOR frequencies, and we fly to those using our compass and our very rudimentary autopilot. I'm not going to be doing a tutorial in this video on how to navigate VOR to VOR, but I will be doing a short tutorial on that here really soon. So if you don't see it up there before or by the time I post this video, just know that it will be up there shortly, and it's really pretty basic. It's not very difficult to navigate VOR to VOR, so just be prepared for that to pop up on there. But as far as today goes, this is our flight plan, and we got about 500 something miles to go. It's going to be a long and very enjoyable flight. I really like flying this aircraft. So let's go ahead and hop on in the airplane, and let's get this bad boy in the air. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are holding short of runway 32 left at Chicago O'Hare. And as you can see, we're not the only ones waiting to take off. I do my track IR on, which is always an interesting experience. We'll see how it goes. But as soon as our Airbus from United here gets out of the way, we're going to taxi onto the runway. We're going to go straight into a rolling takeoff. We do want to go ahead and bring our flaps down. That was too far. And I I guess I was already set. So there we go. He's already rolling. Let's go ahead and bring this throttle up. Looks like the other guy's going to move into place. So what we're going to do is we're going to sneak in right behind him, and hopefully we'll be able to do that without too much difficulty. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, I'm just going to try to sneak in behind this other Airbus here before that MD-80 behind him comes onto the runway. I know, we're not using air traffic control. It's not the right way to do things. I know. And that wasn't an MD-80 behind him. It's a 737, so I was incorrect there. Go ahead, beat me up in the comments. I don't mind. I can take it. Just be gentle. And yeah, so I think we're good to go. We're going to go ahead and roll that trim wheel up a little bit. There we go. That should help us with our takeoff. And we're just waiting on him. So if he just get going here. There he goes. Okay, let me get out here before this other guy tries to sneak in here, huh? The nose wheel on the Constellation is way out in the front of the airplane, so it's kind of weird when you're taxiing, because we're used to taxiing those big jetliners. So here we go. We're going to roll straight into a takeoff here. We've already got everything set where it should be. Like I said, this is not about checklists. It's just about doing the flying. So let's get those throttles all the way up. It is a little bit tricky to keep her lined up. She's a little squirrely, but we'll get there. And we want to start our rotation around 90 knots here. And there she's starting to come up. Just hold that attitude for a minute. And at a little over 100 knots, she starts to come off the ground. Maybe, come on, baby. There she goes. Now we've got a positive rate of climb. Go ahead and bring the gear up. And the gear should be traveling at this point. Let's look outside real quick, just to be sure. Gear's coming up, looking fantastic. And we're going to go ahead and climb out on this heading for just a minute here, and then I'm going to go ahead and intercept that first VOR. So that's about the gist of it there. We don't want our climb rate to be too high. We want to get our airspeed up, and we've got plenty to bring the flaps up now, so that's fantastic. And we're looking for the GIJ VOR at 115.40. So let me show you real quick how this works. Jump up here and you're going to find 115.40. So there's 40. Kind of tricky to find it. There we go. 115.40. That's on the nav1 radio there. Hop back down here and then we just rotate this guy. Till our nav1 comes alive, which is not coming alive right now. So, yep, I'm going to go ahead and climb out here for a minute. Like I said, this is just about the flights themselves, so I'm going to go ahead and climb out and I'll get this figured out and get us on course, and then maybe I'll hop back on for a second and show you what's going on. So we'll see you in a minute. Alright, so just hopping back on here real quick, show you what's going on. So I've got the VOR tuned in. I was doing it properly. You just need to start turning towards that heading, which was 106 degrees, and we do that. We set our autopilot here. I'll explain the autopilot a little later, but we turn our heading towards 106, and you can see we've got this right deflection here. So we know we're to the left, we're to this side of the course we want to fly at 106 degrees. And if I rotate this, when that needle comes to center, a little bit more. So right now, if I turn to 105 degrees, I should be flying directly towards that VOR. So I can just rotate my heading switch here to 105 degrees, and then all I'm trying to do is track that VOR by keeping this needle centered right here, and that's your basic VOR navigation. I'll explain that a little more in depth in my tutorial video, but there you have it for the moment. So that's what we're trying to do. We're just adjusting our heading to try and keep that needle centered as we head towards our first VOR, and then when we get to that one, we'll tune the course and the heading for the next one, and that's it. So that's all for the start of this flight. I will see you guys when we're on final approach. Alright, welcome back to the end of our flight here. I'm actually just about to make a right turn to base and final. In fact, we'll start doing that right now. Kind of watch our altitude here a little bit and our speed as we do it. You can see I am using track IR still, and we're not going to be able to see much until we make this turn. If you look, let's see, if you look right here, this is actually our ILS indicator. I've gone ahead and turned on the ILS. This particular simulation model will fly an approach via the. I'm looking down here to try and show you. This is the approach hold switch. You can turn it on and get it to fly the approach for you. We're not going to do that. We're going to fly it by hand because that's the way we want to do it. So descending just a little fast there, but we're on a base lake pretty much now, and in fact we'll level off here, and you should be able to see the airport just out the right side there. Let's see if we can see it. Not quite. We're not quite all the way around. Apologize for jerking around a little bit there. Sometimes I forget that you watching it while I'm doing it looks a lot different, so that's alright. We got to swing it all the way around here anyway. We'll go ahead and do a nice steep turn around here. Well, I guess not really a steep turn. It's got to be a little steeper than that to constitute a steep turn. I'm hoping that you can hear me alright. I tried to adjust the volume on the aircraft there on the computer, and I'm just trying to get a view of the runway as we come around here. I tried to adjust the volume there so that you'd be able to hear me. There's our runway there. And still be able to hear the engines on this aircraft a little bit. That was kind of the idea there. So, alright, let's pull out of this turn here. Probably turn just a little steep there, but you can see on our ILS indicator here, we're right of course. So when the needle's deflected to the left there, that means we're to the right of the course. I'm going to pull a little power back out of here. And then obviously we're below the glide slope as well. We want this to be level. So you go where the needle is, so we need to go left and up a little bit. And we're climbing a little right now anyway. And we're going to need to pull some more of that throttle out because we need to bring flaps in soon. As you can see, we're just about on the glide slope now, but we're not on the localizer. So we're going to need both of those, and we're going to fly it manually. And we've got plenty of visual range here, so it shouldn't be an issue to fly it manually anyway. But let's just get it on that glide slope there. Bring those throttles back a little bit more. Sorry for the quick jerk there, just making sure that my prop levers are full forward. And there's our glide slope there. We're looking good, so we just need to get on center line now. So we'll continue to fly left here a little bit. You can see the needle just starting to move there. That's what we're looking for. Bringing in a little trim so we don't dive too quick. And we're ready for that first flap setting. There's one. And when you bring in those flaps, the airplane typically likes to climb on you a little bit, so you just got to watch for that. And of course we're combining our visual approach here with our ILS down there, so just to see that they line up pretty well. Bring in a little more trim. We want the aircraft to slow. You can see we're just a skosh above glide slope now. And we're almost on the center line there. And once I'm actually watching the needles right now rather than the runway. And once my needles are centered, I'll go ahead and just go to a visual approach at that point. So pull those throttles back a little bit. And I know when I glance up at my eyes, I know you can see the runway, so you guys are probably looking at it right now. Oh, you gotta go left, you gotta go left. Yeah, I'm trying to go left a little bit here. I got a little bit of a crosswind coming off the left side, so that's causing a bit of the issue there as well. And that's alright. That's not that big a deal, but I can see my needles just about centered now. Just about where we want to be. And now we're dropping just a hair below glide slope. Again, I'm just looking at my needles right now. I'm flying this as an instrument approach at the moment. Still a little below glide slope. And we're coming on center line now. And now I'm going to go ahead and go to a visual approach. And I know I'm still a little below glide slope. I can bring in full flaps and bring that gear down. It's going to slow me down. I'm going to let the plane level off a little for a second. Bring in some throttle. And the throttles tend to be a little quirky. Again, that's an issue with my throttle quadrant, no doubt about it. And I just have to play with them a little, because if the throttles on the right are off a little from the throttles on the left, there's a lot of torque in these engines. So, and that torque definitely makes it difficult to fly straight. Of course, we need to fly straight if we want to land this airplane, or it's going to help anyway. So, looking pretty good here. Still holding center line, maybe just that tiny hair below glide slope, at least according to our needle down there. And that's always going to want you to be just a skosh high anyway, I think. But you can see we just got another red light in there, and that's, oh, there's that torque I'm talking about. And that's because we are a little below that glide slope, and that's understandable. So we're just using our throttles and our yoke. I'm not really messing with the trim much now. And just going to fly her on down and in, and then I'm not going to make you guys watch the whole taxi or shut down or anything like that. Like I said, the idea of these videos is to be a good bit shorter. I don't want really long videos here. I want these to be something where you can take a quick look at what we're doing. Enjoy the two funnest phases of flight. I didn't do any recording at cruise altitude or anything like that on this one. I might on some of the future ones. But here we are coming in to land at Washington Dulles. And of course, this, as you can surely see, this is default scenery here, not this isn't any type of payware scenery or anything like that. So not an accurate representation as far as the surrounding terrain or anything like that goes. So, and I'm just kind of bumping my gums here. I know I do that sometimes. I figure you probably don't want to just sit here and stare at the screen. I'm supposed to talk, right? I mean, isn't that the idea anyway? Talkie, maybe not. A little high there. Go ahead and bring it down a little bit. Pull those throttles back. We don't have any altitude call-outs. If you had a first officer in the aircraft, I'm sure he'd be calling out altitudes for you, but we don't have one, so guess what? We are SOL here. Bring the throttles back a little bit more. And we're looking good. We're at 100 knots right now, and we want to slow it down just a little bit more before we land, so this is going to work out well. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut here for a second and just bring this on in and try and land it smooth here. So let's try and do that. That was pretty good, huh? I think it was anyway. I'm proud of myself for that one. Pretty smooth landing, didn't look too bad. And yeah, not too shabby there. I'm okay with that. So let's just take a quick look outside here. Hope that didn't get too loud for you. I know it does sometimes. Just wanted you to get a look at her from the outside. And that'll wrap it up for this flight from Chicago to Washington Dulles. And we will see you next time. We'll see where the next flight takes us. In the meantime, if you like the idea of this series of videos and you like to see just that quick takeoff and then the landing like that, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up down in the comments. And as always, please subscribe to my channel. I hope to continue making more of these videos for you guys. And until next time, whether it's in our Life of the Virtual Airline Pilot series or our trip around the world in the Lockheed Constellation, I will see you guys up in the air. Have a great day.